Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to Map Making with me, BonBonB. I'm BonBonB. You're very, very welcome. And welcome back to provisionally titled Duvo. And those of you who've been following the series up to episode 32 now, which means we're now about 16 hours into the build. My goodness me. Now today's episode is all about the green stuff. Yeah, these tree type things. First thing I wanted to start off was just add a little bit of foliage into what we did last time. You remember yesterday? Do you remember yesterday? Yeah. I needed a few more trees in that little gully there. It just didn't look right to me. Now down here, as you'll see, we had this little cluster of trees down here. But I felt that I needed to, there we go, brought the terrain lines up. Needed to emphasize the bottom of these hills with a cluster of trees. Now I am using Move It copy paste feature, and the copy paste feature can result in patterns occurring, and of course I will put that right later on by running the bulldozer tool over it just to thin things out where the patterns are apparent, and obviously by adding more trees, because what we're doing here is we're pasting down one particular style of tree, and forests and woods don't have one particular style of tree. Often they have many different styles of trees. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. So just doing a little bit of basically colouring in at the moment. Colouring in with copied trees like this. So yes, that's part of what we'll be doing today, and then we're going to come back and do a little bit of extra oh, by the way, have you noticed just at the bottom of this hill here, there's this little hollow at the bottom of the hill? We'll be doing something with that. I'm sure those of you that were with me the last couple of episodes will have a pretty good idea what I'm going to be doing with this hollow, because it's just shouting out to me. It's saying, hey, film me, film me. So I'll be doing that, and the final job actually does look quite good. It's completely different from the previous one. So anyway, trees. We'll also be using a lot of bushes later on in this particular episode as well, adding the diversity. Here we go. This is the water, guys. Here comes the water. Getting the level just right is quite tricky. Let me just, it won't let go. Let go. Now. Thank you very much. That's what I was trying to do. It's probably still a bit too high. And yes, I want to get it to a specific level. Now, the overall fill level on this lake and the shape of the lake makes me feel that this was more a what's it called, an ornamental lake, a man-made lake. There we go, a man-made lake created for ornamental purposes at the bottom of the hill from the castle. Oh, it's a castle on top of that hill. It is. We'll be doing some more work to the castle and the hill later on this week as well. I'm promising you that, which is coming up. But yes, a little bit of, you can see the trees. Some of them are a bit too clustered, so I'm using the bulldoze tool just to thin things out a little bit. But we will be adding a little bit more diversity to the trees, so we're not just these one types. I've got some in mind. I'm not going to go overboard because I don't want this to become a massively over-reliant on subscribed assets and such. Although I've already used a few, like the bridges and such. But yeah, there's going to be a few. It's going to be slightly more requirement heavy than Merrickstowe. But then Merrickstowe, I think it was only about 4 things on Merrickstowe's list. Now here we go. This, I'm not happy with that. Need a little bit more water in there. Pump it up a little bit more. See how that settles in a minute. We'll come back to that. Now, yes, adding more trees. Now, see the highways there? See the way they're coming in? A bit too close to the trees for my liking. We will be shifting those, budging them just a little bit. Shall we do it now? I think we probably should, you know. So yes, so this is where they enter the start square. I want them a little bit further over. We'll be tweaking the arc on this a little bit. Let's get them running parallel and ending together. That's much better, I think. Running away from the tree line gives a little bit more room. I'm just going to try and add a little bit of arc onto these. So I think we can budge these over a little bit more because of that. like that and like that. Yeah, that's all good. And we can budge these over a little bit more. A bit of arc there and a bit of arc there. And I'm happy. I'm happy with that. So that's how we're going to be entering the start square, just like that. Might need to budge it up just a fraction. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Slap bang into the middle of that build plane. Perfect for the start square. Right, what should we do now? Yes, going to do a little bit of tree painting along here as well, where we've got this little ravine going on here. Once again, quite a steep hill there, so there's every opportunity that the water be running down and would basically make it easy for forests to slowly emerge. Right, let's tell you a bit more about the channel while we're here. Right, now we've got the new series, which will be coming up just as soon as we finish this map build. Just don't have time to do this and the new series, so yeah, I'll grab a host of trees there. We'll do some painting, proper painting, much better than hand painting individually. All those, yes. So so the new series, once this map making series has concluded, finally at last. Now, I keep saying about Skylines Talk. I want to bring Skylines Talk back, but I have had so many problems trying to set this series up. I've now got to the point that I don't care. I just don't. It's a sad state of events, really. All the previous series, the guests, I'd go to them, I'd ask them, do you want to appear on it? And pretty much everybody said, yes, I'd love to appear on this, it'd be great. And so everything went to plan. Now, Skylines Talk is quite editing heavy. We're talking about a 10 to 15 minute show. That takes about 8 hours to put together. Now, these are those bushes now. I'm going to make a little cluster. First cluster's too big, so I have to thin it out. Yeah, like that. And I don't like that so much. We'll tidy that up in a minute and you'll see what I mean. I don't want it quite that heavy. It's just, yeah, clean it up. So yes, Skylines Talk, we're talking about 8 hours worth of work for every single show, which would be great if they were watched in their thousands, but they're not. And I still feel that Skylines Talk is probably the best thing I make, because it's all about you. It is. I mean, this is my channel is all about reviewing other people's work. I mean, this is about me. This is about me creating, map making. My city builds are okay, I guess. I've got a city build on the go now in Asset World, which is obviously a let's play with a slight difference. But yes, Skylines Talk is all about the guests, and I want to have not necessarily the biggest name guests. I mean, for example, asset creators. If I'm thinking asset creators, I mean, one of the biggest ones that comes to mind would be someone like Sven Berlin. Now, I've never asked Sven to appear on the show. Now, it's not that I don't want Sven on the show. I'd love to have Sven on the show, along with loads of other people that, you know, so many great asset creators. It's kind of picking the guests to make an interesting, eclectic mix. I don't want to have I don't want to do a series of 4 shows with we'll have an asset creator, and the second one will be another asset creator, and the third one another asset creator, and all we're doing is talking about people who make skyscrapers. I want to mix things up. So each time I do set up a new series of Skylines Talk, I'm looking for a YouTuber, usually a YouTuber, who does something, hopefully something a little bit different with City Skylines, and then we'll have an asset creator and a map maker, and so on, just mixing them up. And if I had an asset creator who makes skyscrapers in the last series, I'll have one that does specialises in maybe rural or trees, as we had Mr. Maison on in the first series. So I didn't want to have say Pidelmo on the second series, because, well, we'd already had a tree maker. and so I'm always trying to mix things up and keep things interesting. So when we got to the end of season 4, and we covered pretty much most genres of the creators, I had a pretty good idea who I wanted in season 5, and already who I wanted in season 6. Now, of course, it's a question of all these people want to appear, and of course then I had like fallbacks. If person A isn't available, I could maybe use person B or person C, and so on. Well, the first choices pretty much were all unavailable. There was one person, one of my first choices basically doesn't speak any English. They communicate in English in the written form, obviously using Google Translate, but they couldn't obviously have an interview in English, so I went by the bar on that one. But I had a fallback for that person, and I sent a message to them, and I have actually messaged them in the past, so they are talking to me. Unfortunately, they've not opened the message, so that was like my first choice fallback. Absolutely, I really wanted one of these two people. I've got a modder who said yes. Once again, English not their first language, so it might have been a bit of a struggle of an interview, but they're still on the yes list. I really and I might still do them. I might still, because they were a first choice. There was a YouTuber who was my first choice for the first series, and they're no longer responding to my messages because they're probably just too big and too busy. I have spoken to somebody who has aired an interest in basically taking that particular spot on the roster, but it very much is, I hate to say, it's very much a second choice for me. And while they're probably very, very interesting, and I might still go ahead and do it, possibly, it's not what I wanted to do, you know. And then there was another one as well who, like I say, it's just not responded to my approaches, which is frustrating. Very, very frustrating indeed. So I've spent a lot of time trying to set up this series, and it's getting nowhere. Now there is one that I probably will do a one-off special with. There's a particular celebrity that I really want. A particular guest that I think I should have on the show, and so maybe do a one-off Skylines Talk special and get that done. And as the model was definitely a first choice, I might even do them as well. But in terms of building up to a finale, with a season 5 finale with the biggest names, for the sake of getting maybe 300 views, 8 hours work, 300 views, I feel that it's my best work, and it's just honestly, it's almost not worth the time that I've investing into it, when I could be investing the time into things that you guys want me to make. So sadly, looks like Skylines Talk is pretty much being wound up. I'll still, like I say, I'll have a word with that modder, and hopefully we can get on and do something with them. And of course this one-off Skylines Talk special with this one particular special guest, I probably will go ahead and get that done as well. But yeah, Skylines Talk is on its way out, and it makes me sad, because it's like I say, it's the one thing that I really feel that above everything else, where I showcase everybody's work, just want to give you the credit you deserve, you creators. Get to ask you the questions. I want to find out what you are, what you like, not behind the scenes. But anyway, it's very sad. It's very sad that it may not be happening now, but it might all fall into place. You never know. You never know. I'm obviously not going to name and shame any of the shame. There's no shame at all in somebody not responding to a message. I won't be naming any of these particular people that I have approached. It's not going to benefit anybody if I do that, because for example, let's for the argument's sake, it's not pick a name. It's not Strict Toaster. I haven't approached Strict Toaster to appear on the show, but if I had and he didn't reply, well, you can probably understand why. He's a busy guy. He's a very, very busy guy. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't approached him directly, because I'm pretty sure he has got a million and one jobs that he'd rather be getting on with than appearing on a chat show that's going to get, at best, I mean, Fresh Popcorn one got a couple of thousand views, was it? Something like that? I don't know. Was it a bit more than that? 4,000? It's not really worth his effort, surely. So I've not approached him. But like I say, there's some people that haven't responded, and it's not going to benefit them for me to say, and this person, didn't get back to me. So what? They haven't broken any rules. Nobody says you have to respond to a message. So anyway, I'm kind of losing a little bit of faith with that. But the first 4 series and all the guests on there were absolutely bleeding amazing. Love you all. Alright, getting rid of a few of these bushes on these sharper cliffs. I don't mind a few on the cliffs in clusters, but it's got to look like it would work. I think that looks a little bit better there. Right, so anyway, getting towards the end of today's map making. Tomorrow there won't be a map making. Tomorrow we have the Viewers' Choice Awards for what month was it? September, last month. Yes, I've finally got it made, and it's going to be up and running. Who will be the winner? This is all from your votes, so it's not down to me at all. It's literally your votes that count only. And then we'll have a little bit of map making again on Thursday, because I've already got one pretty much in the bag, pretty much. So definitely one on Thursday, and hopefully one on Friday as well. XCOM, don't know what's going on with XCOM at the moment. I'll probably do a live stream at some point with XCOM, but it might have to wait until next week, maybe. We'll see. Anyway, I think that's about it. It's all about bushes and trees today. Not really too much to talk about there, apart from just the obvious where I put things. There we are. Right, we'll finish with the little screen. So anyway, thanks for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. Let me know if there's anything you would change for the map down in the comments. And basically, thank you very much for watching. I've been BonBonB. You've been very, very welcome. And I'm going to go and put the kettle on.